The reason your life feels stuck, confusing, or powerless is because you've been trying to lead it yourself, and not letting the Holy Spirit take control. That's not just a small oversight, that's a spiritual emergency. You were never designed to be your own guide. Proverbs 14 verse 12 warns, "There is a way that seems right to a man, but in the end it leads to death." And if you keep ignoring the voice of the Holy Spirit, let's be real. You don't need more opinions, more hustle, or more positive vibes. You need the Holy Spirit. Right now. And not just during crisis moments when your back's against the wall, you need Him to lead your entire life. Most people miss this. They try to sprinkle God into their schedule like seasoning, but ignore the Spirit when He says, stop, wait, or go back. You don't need control, you need surrender. But here's the shocking truth. Most people silence Him daily through distractions, pride, or disobedience. You pray for God's will, but then you bulldoze forward with your own plans. That's like asking for directions and then running the other way. Romans 8 verse 14 doesn't stutter. For all who are led by the Spirit of God are sons of God. If you're not being led by the Spirit, you're not just off track, you're operating outside your identity. Think about that. When Jesus began His ministry, even He didn't move without the Holy Spirit. Luke 4 verse 1 says, Jesus, full of the Holy Spirit, left the Jordan and was led by the Spirit into the wilderness. Let that sink in. If the Son of God needed to be led by the Spirit, what makes you think you can navigate life without Him? You can't fake spiritual direction. You can fake church attendance, you can fake a prayer life, but you cannot fake being Spirit-led. The fruit, or the lack of it, will always tell the truth. Galatians 5 verse 22 lists the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness. And if your life is full of chaos, anger, impulsive decisions, and fear, that's not bad luck. That's the absence of guidance. Saul was a king chosen by God, but when he stopped listening to the Spirit and started trusting his own judgment, the kingdom was torn from him. David, on the other hand, constantly inquired of the Lord, asking again and again, "Shall I go up? Shall I pursue?" He didn't move unless God moved. That's why he remained a man after God's own heart, even in his failures. So how do you let the Holy Spirit lead your life? You stop resisting, you stop negotiating partial obedience. You silence the noise, you get uncomfortable enough to surrender. You don't wait for a crisis, you invite His voice into your everyday decisions. John 16 verse 13 promises, "When the Spirit of truth comes, He will guide you into all the truth." That means decisions about your relationships, your finances, your next move, they don't have to be a guessing game. But here's the hidden danger. When you ignore His leading long enough, your heart hardens. You start calling it common sense when it's actually compromise. You start calling it just being practical when it's actually rebellion. You can't afford to live like that. The enemy doesn't have to destroy you if he can just distract you from the voice that leads to life. And let's be honest, when you're not Spirit-led, you're emotion-led, or crowd-led, or fear-led, and that's why anxiety rules you, that's why peace never lasts. That's why you keep ending up in situations God never assigned to you. This isn't a call to hyper-spiritual weirdness. This is a call to radical alignment, to pray and actually wait for an answer, to say no when the Spirit says no, even if the opportunity looks golden, to say yes when He says move, even if you feel unqualified. Few people live this way. Fewer still finish well. But the ones who do, they carry an unshakable authority and peace the world can't replicate. Your life doesn't need another 5-step plan, it needs a surrendered heart and a listening ear. So here's your challenge. Starting today, stop making decisions without Him. Wake up and invite Him to interrupt you. Speak less. Listen more, delay impulsive moves until you feel His nudge. Ask Him to make you sensitive again. Because if you keep ignoring the Spirit, you'll eventually stop hearing Him. And that silence is deadly. But if you dare to let Him lead, you'll go places no logic could ever take you. You'll have clarity when others panic. You'll walk into rooms and shift atmospheres, not by your charisma, but by your obedience. If you're serious about living a life that's not just busy but anointed, not just successful but Spirit-led, then don't walk away from this message unchanged. The Holy Spirit is ready to guide you into truth, into clarity, and into purpose, but you've got to respond. Don't just hear this, live it. Let today be the day you stop leading yourself and start following the one who sees what you can't. If this spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Like the video so others see it. Subscribe, because I'm not just here to motivate you, I'm here to equip you. Comment below and let me know how the Holy Spirit is speaking to you right now. Share this with someone who's been relying on their own strength for too long.